I try spider climbing the wall?
Sure.
Did we not learn?
Yeah,
Did
you've
we
made
not
a
learn our
check.
lesson?
Maybe I can just walk up it.
Would you like to attempt it?
Sure.
Make a dex saving throw.
Oh, fuck. I thought I'd had to not do that since I was just walking on it.
I thought your fucking plan was, well, if I'm stuck to the wall, you can knock me back.
Yeah, pretty much. 16.
16. You are thrown 16 foot away. You lie prone upon your back. You take 4 bludgeoning damage. The butler looks out the window and says, just testing. Yo, welcome along. Today is our Sogravia, The Last Bastion Evil episode, and unfortunately Rosalind cannot make it with us today. So she is going to go and do a little bit of investigating down at the docks, see whether she can find anything about her old boat. And in the meantime, welcome along to Argo. Hello, Argo.
Hello.
Hello, Argo is playing War and Strix today. Welcome along to Lavi, who is playing Losk.
Hello.
Welcome along to Moon, who is playing Tide and Cinderstorm.
Hello.
And welcome along to Menyat, who's playing Defender. Oh, what happened there? Menyat, are you with us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Am I muted?
There was this sort of strange fade-out noise, like you were slowly falling off the side of a table as you were saying hello. It was like, hello.
Another one bites the dust.
Like, by the end of the episode, there is one person here, and it's me. Speaking of me, I'm feeling like utter shite today. I may have laughed at all of you idiots for crying over your COVID jabs that hurt. You know what? Mine's fucking killed me. So today, occasionally, I will be the duck. And while I am the duck, I will be the smoke, because not smoking and feeling like shit do not go together. So I am the duck. Now, we pick up with our party up on the docks. It is 6:30 p.m. in the evening. Rosalind has gone to do some investigating of her own. And yeah, here we are. How wish thee to proceed?
I don't remember if we told them about what we found at the, we'll call it, Noble Manor, so I guess we'll tell them.
Yeah, that's fair to say. All information was shared. It doesn't look defended. There were no walls, etc. I mean, the house had walls, but there was no. It was not within a walled compound.
Yeah, that's how houses work.
Yes.
Wait, where are we? Are we still at the docks, making our way over to the tavern?
Sure. Let's just say we've arrived at the tavern and you're headed on in.
Okay.
Because that's just easier. Okay. The tavern being the tavern. Helps, please, guys. I'm dead. What is tavern? Tavern is...
Oh, shit.
The One-Armed Knight. Yes, the One-Armed Knight. Fletch Brewster, the barman, is chilling. Behind you. Or at the bar, I guess.
Is this the building with the shady guy in the corner?
Yeah, well, he's not shady, he's just grizzly. You know, he's grizzled, he's huge, big fat jaw. Yeah. That's him. But, yeah.
Well, we can go pick up some bounties from this individual. We didn't do that last time.
Bet you can. Holgan is known as the bounty hunter in town. He'll always have a list of bounties available for you, should you wish.
Would you guys like to do?
Wanna do some killing?
Bounties.
I've been itching for something to heal.
I can provide that pretty easily.
As you sort of walk up towards Holgan, he sort of greets you in a gruff voice. He goes, "Aye. What can I do for you?"
You got some jobs?
I do. I have 3 bounties currently. There's a hill giant causing trouble down the road in Jilverstead. It's about a 2-day hike. There is Liana, who's causing trouble in Zorenia. Up to your north again, about a day and a half's hike. She's been creating necromancy, and there's Halfhand. Halfhand's been hunted in this town for about a year and a half. All we know of him, he's a halfling and he's a thief. He regularly steals from the ladies, steals from the gents. He loves anything of magical wheel, and he always leaves a note behind.
Yeah, was that the halfling that stabbed
Everyone.
what's his name? No, he just stabbed one guy. The guy that, yeah, that dude.
At this point, you notice that one of your party members is missing. Throughout the last 2 episodes, you've been friends with a young drow. This drow has disappeared. The last place you saw him was down at the docks, but that's about all we can remember of him, really. I believe we left him by... what was her name? Anyone? Did we take a name?
Agatha?
Yes, Hagatha's boat.
Should we go find him?
Good try.
I'm sure Rosalind will find him. She'll bring him back, right?
Sure.
They
If
could've
she
gone
even
up
knows he's
together.
gone.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Eh.
Thank you. We are not good. This is much is true. Let's switch that over. Apparently I've named the title The Good Campaign.
Plot twist.
Yes.
That's the perfect way for us to smirch their names.
Yeah, so you've picked up your 3 bounties, and at this point, Fletcher's sort of tapping his hand at the bar. Like, you gonna buy a drink?
Well, I don't drink anything. I don't know about you guys.
I only drink
I could
something
always-
very specific.
Yeah, I could always go for a drink myself.
Ale, lass?
I didn't.
Ale, lass?
Yeah. Whatever you've got.
What about you, Fancy Pants? That's you, Lavi.
I only drink of the finest of ales.
Finest of ales, and you've come to the right place. He turns,
No, I haven't because I'm broke. So
he turns to Iona. You're definitely not broke. But you can be broke if you want.
I'm saying act broke to stay rich. Come on, man.
He turns to Iona and he goes, get these to an ale. Got something I'd like to propose to them. You around here for work?
Boy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Furian God have asked me to task somebody with this quest who is adaptable, who is quiet, who is a little bit of a skulker, and no offense, but you guys kind of match that description. The Furian Guard is recruiter in town is Theobald Grayson. He's one of those paladin-y types, you know, always too good for their own clothes, those sorts of things. All of that stuff. But in town we also have Liuval, and Liuval, being in Carthan, is the Magus Arcane Recruiter, and sort of the perfect gent, if you would. An elf of fine repute, and Theobald has asked if anybody is willing to see if they can get a couple of rumors started about Leoval. See if you can
Wait, sorry.
get some word out on the street that Leoval might not be as clean as he appears to be.
That's the recruiter's name?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put their names in chat for you. Maybe, if I'm any good at this. There you go. Yes, Theobald has been asking around if anybody can sort of dirty Leoval's name, and apparently there's a bit of money in it for you if you are successful. To find out any details, you'd have to ask him.
I've got a stupid plan.
What is it?
We have a changeling. We
Do
could
we?
just do bad shit looking like him.
That's what I was thinking. Great minds think alike. The problem is that I have never seen him before.
If he's a recruiter, he shouldn't be too hard to find. Any idea where he is?
You'd find him down at the Magus Arcane recruitment buildings, ironically. They are just outside
Would
the
have
town.
bonked.
See if we can get this map
You still
full
up?
size. She said, who'd have thunked?
No.
Yes, he's just outside the Major's Arcane Tower. Their recruitment buildings. It's fine at sort of 7:30 in the evening, just to let you know.
Is there like an official way to accept the quest?
No.
Okay,
You could talk to
let's
Theobald.
go do that.
If you want to talk to Theobald, you'll find him down at the Furian Guard outpost. It's just outside the door and just straight ahead.
Okay, want to do that? Y'all?
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I guess. Sounds like what we're doing.
Okay.
Better the bounty.
Well, you also have a bag of thumb screws in your pocket with a note. And apparently Cray has your black pearl. Just to remind you of a couple of other things going on. As you come out of the tavern, straight ahead of you is the Furian Guard, it's their version of a temple, if you like. There's a very grand temple next door, which kind of puts them to shame, which would be the Temple of the Dawn Stars, the King's people. The Furian Guard Temple is a little small, a little squatter, a little bit more army-like, if you would, a bit more martial.
Shall we head there and talk to Theobald?
Theobald. Yeah, as you head down towards there, you see a paladin-ish type, big great sword in his back, large shiny silver armor. All of the mod cons of your expected paladin. He's handing out flyers and yelling at people as they pass by. Join the Furian Guard. Defeat the Shadow Veil today.
I guess I'm gonna walk up to him, be like, "Hey,
What can I do for you?
do you perhaps?" Unfortunately, no. But we are wondering if there's any other way that we could possibly help. Maybe a job.
Ah, finally. Paying a tavern keeper's coming in handy. From what I've heard, he's just been handing people out ales. Yes, perhaps we should talk inside. And he gestures for you to come in. The rest of you with Lavi at this moment, or with Losk at this moment, or are you hanging outside?
I'll
I'm
follow
coming in.
inside.
Sorry,
I'll go
Tylon, you
inside
said?
as well.
I'm coming in.
Okay, so as the four of you enter, he gestures to a single seat for one of you to sit down. And he sits himself down, sort of leg up on the edge of the chair, and he goes, well, you see, Leoval is the new recruiter for the Major's Arcane in town, and he's got a perfect record, unblemished, the perfect little gentleman. And he's been telling people that the Furian Guard are not what we believe we are. You know, we are soldiers for the righteous, soldiers for the good, lords of the light. And he paints a darker picture. And I think it's willing to say that if he's going to sully our name, we would like to sully his. However, we have a certain reputation to uphold, as I'm sure you understand. So I'm offering 500 rubles if you can get him in a bit of trouble.
Each or amongst
Amongst?
us?
That would be ridiculous. Unless you can get him arrested. If you can get him arrested, I might double it.
The more you give us, the better we'll do.
You get him arrested, I'll double it. Mind you
Sold.
don't get him killed, though.
Let's go.
Mind you don't get him killed, though. I don't want to have to deal with his, with his, what do you call them? Person who replaces him thing. Yes, that. Deal with his
Underling.
replacement.
That dude.
Yeah, the opposite of predecessor. Whatever, successor, there you go. I don't have to deal with his successor. So, 1,000 gold if you can get him arrested.
That's
Consider it done.
pretty doable.
Sounds
Guys,
good.
I
Can
have
take
the
a name?
perfect idea. My name is Keiko.
Good to know, good to know. Thanks very much. Best of luck to you.
Okay, I'm gonna usher the team out. Guys, I have the greatest idea.
I can't wait.
Weren't we supposed to kill a noble that's a part of the Magus Arcane?
Yeah. something Embercrest.
Okay, so I'm gonna usher them. Can I usher them into like an alleyway where like nobody else is listening?
You're kind of in the center of town right now. You might want to move around.
Yeah, let's move. Let's move not in the center of town.
Okay, do you want to sort of head towards where the Magus Arcane would be, but also where the sort of the shops and stuff would be, where there are plenty of alleyways around?
Yeah,
we'll tuck you.
I guess someplace. Yeah, someplace where there's like a lot of hustle and bustle.
Yeah, there's
very
people walking
loud
around in the streets, but very few people in the actual alleyway.
Right. Okay. So I change into the guy that needs to be arrested, and I go kill that dude.
But what do we do with the real guy to stop him having an alibi?
Well, first we need to figure out if he lives alone. We could do it at night.
Can handle that.
May I ask what's your plan?
It's a good start of a plan, but we need to make sure he doesn't have an alibi, because it's all well and good saying he's killed this man, but if he says he's with like, 5 other people...
I can handle looking at if he's alone at home.
The recruiter is a dude, right?
He is. An elf.
An elven dude.
Mm-hmm.
That would be 2 birds with 1 stone, though.
Yeet.
So at this point, you're a fairly short walk away from where the Magus Arcane recruiter is based. Should you wish to find out what he looks like?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna change it to Eliza.
Okay.
And casually walk over. I'm gonna make it seem like I'm kind of moving with the crowd, you know. I'm staying kind of behind the crowd, but I'm still trying to like get a good look at him.
Unfortunately, there's not a huge crowd present. He is fairly alone outside the building, a contemplative-looking elf, and he looks out and he waves at you.
I'm going to wave back.
And then he gestures for you.
And I'm actually gonna walk over to. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over.
Oh, good day, lass. He takes a very strange look at you.
What you looking at?
Seen you around town before, lass, but something's not right with your aura. I detect a lot of magic in play. Interesting. You're a mage.
I guess you could say that.
I might have a job for you if you're willing.
Boy.
Wait a minute. Sure. I don't really come into town all that often. Which is probably why you've seen me, but not, you know, around very much. What's this job that you have to offer?
You might suit perfectly. Come with me, lass. And he gestures for you to enter into what you realise is actually his home as well as his place of recruitment.
Okay.
There's a small room. There is sort of a living room, a bed in the corner, a small kitchen area. And he gestures for you to take a seat at the table, and he pours you out a glass of wine and he hands it to you. And he says, so, you see, the thing is, there's this Furian guard have entered into town recently. And they're causing quite the stir, you know. People are turning away from our door. As you may see, it's empty out here. But I bet you if you pass the Furian Guard recruitment office, there's people all about. And it's fair to say that the Furian Guard, they have a nice reputation on the front, but they're not quite so polished underneath. If you were able to spread rumor, perhaps mar a name, you might be of great service to us, and not only am I more than willing to pay you well, say 1,000 rubles, but on top of that, a person with your charms, I can sense the illusion magic about you. I can get you into the Magus Arcane, maybe hook you up, get you with a couple of connections.
Fortunately, I do not work alone.
Fantastic.
So I would need to confide in my companions.
This is a very simple thing. If I hear of the news, all you have to do is pop by and I'll pay you well. If not, then we never spoke.
Okay.
Fairly well.
Fair enough.
And you can take the wine with you. Don't worry about the cheap gold.
Nice. As we're talking, can I get like a sense of what his stylistic choices are, like in terms of his clothing?
He's very finely dressed, sort of high brocade shirt, finely tailored jacket. He's wearing, breeches of dark brown and very fine, shiny leather boots.
So it's
a very cultured
neat,
elf,
but not flamboyant.
Exactly, very cultured, wealthy-looking, aristocratic elf.
Okay.
And he opens the door for you to head out.
All right, cool. I'm gonna head back to the gang and let them know what he said.
Consider the information shared.
So we definitely can't help him because we're trying to kill one of his comrades.
Well, he doesn't need to know that it's us.
Exactly. Weren't we gonna frame somebody else for it?
Well, we can't frame the other guy for this one.
We just need to collect his reward first and then frame him.
He didn't say he wants us to get him arrested or do something heinous. And he would know it's us if we framed him for killing a friend or comrade, whatever.
Kind of figured. It feels like everybody's loose on morals. They just pretend to have morals.
Yeah, that's fair. The Dawn Guard tend to play it very straight. King Naris's people are very honest and very good and very, straight down the line. But everybody else, you've thrown all of the peoples of a whole continent into one nation. You're never going to get a group of just good people in that sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like how companies pretend to support gay rights for Pride Month.
Let's not go there.
What's Pride Month? What is it?
I think it's very obvious that was an out-of-character comment, but anyway.
What are you talking about?
So just in terms of a little bit of DM information, I think it's fair to say that you could play this either way, should you wish. This is an opportunity to sort of get involved with the Furian Guard or the Mage's Arcane, should you wish to frame the other one. It both would work. The Furian Guard have committed atrocities on towns because they wouldn't join the Furian Guard. It would be perfectly plausible if one of them had membered a Mage's Guild. A Mage's Arcane Guild member.
I'm just saying. I think the Mage's Arcane has better rewards, so should do that job better.
It's the same reward if we get the guy arrested, though.
Yeah, but then we get ties, or we get ties with some people in the Mage's Arcane.
Yeah, he effectively offered you a place in the Mage's Arcane.
Yeah.
Some connections.
Yeah, sounds like the better offer.
What we can do. Actually, no, that won't work. Did he ask us to spread rumors about the guy specifically that we talked to in the Furian Guard?
Yes, very specifically.
Let's do the smaller quest.
The party sits and thinks for a moment.
That's it.
What? So the Furian Guard, that does... Actually, yeah, they're both pretty major. Never mind.
Yeah, the problem we're having at the moment and what's being discussed outside of game, for those of you who can't see the chat, is that because we don't have a player here, the party don't necessarily want to make a decision without her. So it's fair to say that might be one to put on the back burner a little bit. But also, I mean, let's be real. If in the situation that whichever one you were choosing to frame, you'd need to do a little bit more scouting out, a little bit more exploration of the manor house, etc., making sure that you can actually do the job, right?
Yeah. All right. How about this? Did anybody get a good glimpse at the Furian Guard? Stylist,
You stared straight
fashion
at him.
sense.
You stared straight at him. He was very much shining silver armor, paladin. You know exactly what you'd expect. Cultured blonde, wavy hair, little bit of a beard, tiny bit of a mustache. You'd be able to replicate him very easily. The shiny armor, perhaps not, but it's fair to say he probably wears fairly normal, standard traveling clothes underneath.
All right. Why don't we head our way to the mansion? Kind of scout that out a little bit more. Because they only looked at the exterior, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, run me down what the exterior looked like.
Big fancy mansion, lots of walls, lots of windows, fairly grand, no real security.
Victorian style?
Glass windows, which is quite noticeable because that's unusual in an area like this.
Okay.
Yeah, say Edwardian. A little bit more modern than the Victorian house. We're not expecting a thatched roof or anything like that. Quite fancy. As you are standing in this alleyway, you're accosted by a small young boy. You've met this boy before. He recently handed you a bag with some thumbnails in it. He walks straight up to Strix, and taps him once on the hand and hands him a bag.
What do you want, boy?
Take it.
I will take the bag.
The boy runs off.
I will look in the bag.
There's a hand
What was that about?
in the bag.
What a hand.
As you look below the hand, the note says, "We have her. I won't tell you again."
Anybody need a hand?
God damn it.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there a dude called Half Hand? Does that have anything to do with it?
Not anymore. He's no hand. No. That's the halfling thief that they haven't caught in a year and a half.
Well, I mean, it could be like half hand, like, now half of my hands are gone.
Well, he was half hand for a year and a half before this hand turned up in a bag.
Okay, right. Is it fresh? Or
Yeah,
you
it's
should
clearly
call it
been cut
fresh
off
or not
relatively
anything.
recently. Well, you can say I'd like to take a closer look, ask
Is
questions.
this related to the
This is
thumb screws that we have?
This is the same boy that delivered the thumb screws who said he had come from Cray.
Does anyone have a female companion? Who's
Nope.
missing a hand?
Mine's missing a little more than a hand.
It's fair to say that Tylon's friends are all dead.
There's someone I know, but they weren't missing a hand when I knew them. I guess that might have changed. Do I recognize the hand?
I mean,
Mark III.
would you recognize any hand that had been cut off and handed to you, even in real life?
Maybe. You know something like the back of your hand?
Yes, but not the back of someone else's. I mean,
There's
make
any
an
defining
investigation
features
check.
on it.
Make an investigation check. If you get a nat 20, I'll give you a hint.
Hold
There could
my
be
beer.
defining features,
Yeah,
like
there's-
nails
Tattoos,
long,
no
short,
specific-
manicured.
yeah, they are definitely manicured nails. They are well.
Natural 18.
They're definitely manicured hands. They are well kept. They are soft. They don't look like they've seen, sort of hard labor at any point in time. They're definitely a female's hand. No rings were present, and no rings shows no signs of any rings that were present. It's safe to say, unless you've eaten the person's other hand, you probably wouldn't know specifically who this is. But you might be able to make a few discernments as to the fact that, they're not in hard labor. They don't appear to be the painted nails of or even previously painted or grown nails of a noblewoman. It's about all the information that you would be able to glean from a hand.
That was useful. So we handed you a hand, and we have no idea whose hand this is. Is that what I'm getting here?
The hand?
I have not eaten a hand.
Recently.
I have.
Oh, would you like another one? Apparently we have a useful hand.
Do you like the taste of hands?
Depends on who they come from.
Yeah.
Fair. is the compared to other body parts, are hands desirable?
More of a thigh person, more meat.
That's what I figured, but I just wanted to make sure.
Stupid question. Can you figure out who it is if we feed it to you?
Maybe not, but
I'll offer the hand to Fen. Give it a try.
Ben just shrugs and takes a bite.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
You mean she doesn't work like a bloodhound?
Oof.
Give me the numbers, Fen.
9.
Hey, you take 2 points of poison damage and realize that eating somebody's severed, slightly necrotic limbs is probably not your best bet.
Necrotic?
Yeah, look,
How
very
is it
fresh
taken
in the
by
bag.
Still, it's meat that's been sat in a bag for God knows how long in the warm. It's not withered and rotted.
You
but
said it was.
it's not
You said it was fresh.
relatively. I said, it's been cut off someone's arm, perhaps in the last 24 hours. But next time
Not gonna
cook
be
it before you
necrotic,
eat
what?
it.
It's not gonna be necrotic. What?
No, but it's just grim, just don't be grim. You take 2 points of poison damage and be done with it. And cook it next time.
It's not cannibalism, right?
I mean, it kind of is, but it kind of isn't.
She's an.
Yeah,
No,
she's not
no.
a... Actually, do you know what race? Do races have different textures
It's
of hands?
most definitely a human hand.
Okay.
Well,
Could've
Ben
been an
can
elf.
pass that along at least.
My joke has gotten out of hand.
We're just getting started.
Oh God.
Right, so
Well-
what's the plan?
All right,
Yeah.
great, cool. Brownies sounds like what we should do then. Unless we really want to try for this. I don't know
Let's
what we were
do-
planning to do with these guys.
Let's do some scouting out. I want to look at the mansion.
Okay. Well, the sun is soon to set, so as you head across the town, it's fair to say that you probably got about half an hour before sunset. You arrive outside of Embercrest Manor, and again, it's fairly deserted around. But, you see the same thing. Windows with dimly lit lights behind. No specific people standing at guard at the door.
I want to touch the walls.
See if they're scalable.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I just want to touch them.
Alright, make a dex saving throw.
Caress the wall.
That's a nice wall.
Touch it in all the right way.
Make a dex saving throw, please, Talon.
Chillax. I was opening.
Oh, sorry.
D&D
I didn't know.
Beyond,
I didn't know
my
if I was. I didn't know if I was audible. My apologies.
friend. It's an 11.
It's an 11. You are thrown back 16 foot. You take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are prone upon the floor.
I am so glad we didn't touch this wall before.
A gentleman walks
May I-
out the front door.
Oh,
Looks over sternly at Tylon and says, "Can I help you, young man?"
I was just admiring the wall, the architecture,
Make a deception
the
check,
beautiful stonework. Fuck me.
please. It's a bit early for that offer.
17.
Okay, that's fair. Well, perhaps you might admire from a distance, sir. I apologize if any pain was caused, but, we have to protect ourselves some way.
are you the owner of this house?
Nay, I'm the butler. You never met the
I
Embercrest?
apologize.
No.
Sorry, what did you say?
Have you never met the Embercrests?
No, I haven't. I'm unfortunately new to town.
Oh,
I come from Jastern.
pleasure to make your acquaintance. Can I take your name?
Keiko.
Keiko. Very fine dressed young gent. I'm assuming you're no longer looking like Eliza, by the way.
Yeah, I'm.
Yes, okay, cool.
I'm lost.
Just thought I'd check. Perhaps Lord Embercrest loves to meet new people in town. Perhaps you might swing by in the morning. If you knock gently upon the door as opposed to handling the walls, you might
Yes.
find a little bit more luck and, Perhaps you might have a chat with Lord Embercrest himself. He
I
puts on a
just really like
fabulous
walls,
brunch.
man. Come on.
Puts on a fabulous
Okay.
brunch, but might leave the strange
he-
one behind.
Is he saying this because I look prim and proper?
Yes.
And not just a random
Yes.
stranger off of the
100%,
street?
100%. He sort of hasn't
Okay.
noticed Ufenda whatsoever, or Warren. They're sort of a little bit further back. You were a little further forward, taking a more stern look, and he certainly noticed poor Tylan, who is lying on his back, 16 foot away from the wall.
Feel attacked. I just wanted to look at your great wall. You're making fun of me. God.
Well, lesson learned. But yes, if you'd like to swing by tomorrow morning, say 11, Lord Embercrest puts on a fine brunch. You'll be more than welcome to stop by.
That would sound wonderful. And again, I apologize for my companion.
Oh,
He
no
is,
problem. And sometimes
He's enamored
you think this is
by
bad. You should see what
fireproof walls.
you should see what happens when the drunkards try and catch their balance. He heads back into the house and firmly shuts the door behind him.
Can I try spider climbing the wall?
Sure.
Did we not learn?
Did
You've
we
made
not
a
learn our
check.
lesson?
Maybe I can just walk up it.
Would you like to attempt it?
Sure.
Make a dex saving throw.
Oh fuck! I thought I'd had to not do that since I was just walking on it.
I thought your fucking plan was, well, if I'm stuck to the wall, you can knock me back.
Yeah, pretty much. 16.
16. You are thrown 16 foot away. You lie prone upon your back. You take 4 bludgeoning damage. The butler looks out the window and says, "Just testing." Have
That's
good
a
night, gents.
nice wall, my guy.
Good night.
Sorry, they got into a bit of a scuffle and they're trying to throw each other towards the wall.
Ah, more's the amusement. He raises his hand over towards you both. You are healed for 2 points of health each. He
what a
nods to you
bar.
and says, "Good night."
Let's go before he revokes the invitation.
The sun begins to
And
set.
then I usher Strix and Tylon away from the wall.
Good decision.
Maybe if we both
I
cut
had-
at the same time.
Yeah, do it. Like,
Maybe
what
all
if you
four of
throw
us
me?
are-
What if you throw me up to the top, and then there's not any magic there? Yeah.
Would it?
No
be-
way that goes wrong.
Lost, Karen.
Sorry, I'm new to spellcasting classes, so I'm not really sure how detect magic works. But if I were to use detect magic, would I be
yes.
able to tell what
Yes,
kind of magic?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to cast detect magic.
Which level are you casting detect magic at? Or does it not have a level like that?
It does not have a level. Just
Oh, okay,
one.
yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so as you cast the spell, you see a blue shimmering energy field surrounding the entire building. It is actually sort of mildly set into the wall, so it's within the bricks. It's fair to say every brick is separately enchanted, and each one is set to cast a wall of force at any moment that it is touched. The only parts of this that are not warded are the door and the roof itself.
Anybody fly here? Well, first I'm gonna tell them what I.
Of course.
I'm a small person that can be thrown, and we have a knoll.
The roof is
I'm
30
not
foot
known
up.
for my great plans.
30 foot's a pretty long way to throw a person.
Not known for good plans, sir.
CEO of Bad Plans, is it Tylon or Strix?
Let's find out.
My plan was sound, it just went wrong.
Okay, yeah, let's get out of here before they revoke the invitation. Let's head back to the inn.
I want to admire the walls some more.
Let's have a contest who can get knocked back the furthest.
Hey, wait, we took damage. You can heal us now.
Is it worth it?
Totally, why not?
Not at all. We're probably gonna get along great. I didn't even bother putting the damage on me. I know we're gonna get along. I can't think we're this stupid to get into more trouble.
I feel like we were supposed to be kind of discreet. Almost.
I just touched it nice and gently. It's not my fault. I rolled a bad dex check. I'm sorry.
Alright, yeah, let's, do you guys want to do anything? Before I usher all of us back into the tavern?
Not me.
No. However, might be a good place to get information on the half hand while we're doing stuff in town.
Oh,
The half
you're
of the
right.
half end.
Dufenda, do you want to do anything?
Nope.
Alright, yeah, let's go look at the half hand. Did she eat the entire thing or just a bite?
Just a bite.
Just a bite.
Okay.
I meant the halfling thief that we got a bounty
Oh,
from. But that
okay,
works too.
Well, now it's a half hand.
Dude,
Because she took a
you think
bite
they're
out of
gonna
it.
want their hand back? Because they might have some explaining to do if they want it back.
We could just have Dufenda sit there for like 8 hours. Anyway, so do we know where to find the halfling dude?
No.
Just in town somewhere is the information we got.
The guard have been looking for a year and a half and haven't found him. He's not just sitting in the tavern. Or perhaps he is.
Do
Are we
kill
headed to the
him?
tavern?
Sorry?
Sorry, do we kill him? Because it's a bounty.
No, you could turn him in dead or alive to the guards. It's fair to say you get double the money for alive rather than dead.
Okay. Oh, we'll write that down. Are all the bounties like that?
Yeah. No. It depends on the nature of the bounty. If you bring in an alive giant, the guards are likely to give you no money whatsoever. It depends on what it is.
Okay, but the bounties that he gave us, it's dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
Preferably alive. Okay.
Yes.
Apart from the giant, I guess.
Well, the half hand, if you could bring him in alive, is great. The other two, you can just kill them.
So,
Yeah, I feel like a necromancer is better off dead. But
I mean, we're giving a necromancer item to another person.
We don't have to give them the item.
Okay, you're correct.
okay.
What's our plan in the morning? Are we
Well,
just
we
going
have
to
that
the
exquisite
Embercrest
brunch.
people? Well, I can see this going very well.
Are we all invited to the Embercrest thing?
No, just lost.
Or just lost? Okay.
And then I go missing, and then that's the last of my character.
As you are relaxing in the middle of the street, a halfling sneaks up, pops a book in your pocket, Lusk, and wanders off.
Yo, wait a minute. Halfling, you say? Does anybody else notice this?
No.
Okay. I am going to look at the book.
Everything in it is written upside down.
Cool, I'm gonna put away the book. So I'm assuming that if I turned around the book, the letters will shift back upside down.
Find out.
I heard the book.
You say we're going back
Yep.
to the tavern?
You're right. Letters are still upside down. I can't see a purpose.
What
to
are you
this book.
doing?
I think I'm illiterate after my years of studying in a boarding school. I'm gonna hand the book to them.
They appear to be having the same problem. However, you know,
I got a good plan. I got an idea.
it's fair to say that you'd be able to read the words even upside down, and it appears to be a book of children's nursery rhymes written upside down.
He's ruining my fun. Goddamn this DM.
Sorry.
I'm assuming that this is like a hardcover book.
Yeah.
And how big is it, like thickness-wise?
3 inches?
Okay, so I can kill somebody with it.
Quite probably, yes.
Alright, I'm gonna keep the book. I'm gonna put it away. We should head back to the tavern and ask about Half Hand Dude, because it would be useful if we knew what he looked like.
Yes.
Yay.
That.
We might
If
get
anyone
more.
happens to know that.
Yeah, we might get more information about the Ember Crest people as well, because we don't really know anything about them.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, alright, let's go.
Okay, as you head back to the tavern, the young boy who handed you the 2 bags accosts you in the street halfway over, and he comes up to Strix and he says, "No more bags this time, but it's your last chance. You've got till midnight."
Thanks for dinner.
No problem.
I don't even understand what you want us to do.
Yeah, what does this boy want us to do?
He's told you quite clearly you need to go to Cray's boat to visit him, or said girl will be dead.
Or do we
What
care about
girl?
this girl?
I mean, it sounds pretty important. It
More
could
body
be
parts to feed to defend
someone I knew.
Okay. That's the plan then?
I can head to the boat if you guys want to do the tavern thing.
No, we should
We
head
are coming
together
with
so
you.
that,
Yeah.
to save our DM the headache.
Excellent planning. Are you headed
I
down
think
finally
we should
to
split up
Cray's
to
boat?
5 different places.
Good luck. There's only 4 of you. His defender's leg going
Or
somewhere
whatever,
else.
suck a dick.
So you're headed to Cray's boat, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as you arrive at Cray's boat, the young boy is sat on the edge of the boat, his arms folded, tapping his foot, and he goes, "Oh, I thought you might turn up soon. Come on up.
Why are we
Boss is
here?
expecting you."
Okay, I
On,
guess I'll follow him. Or wherever he led
I
us
want-
to.
Keep a lookout that we were looking for black gem or something like that.
Black Pearl, yes.
Black pearl. I want to look out. If I see it anywhere.
As you head up the gangway, some rough and tough looking ruffians stand about. They look pretty violent types, pretty strong. You probably see 7 or 8 of them on your way up, and you're gestured towards the captain's chambers.
Oh, well, if I die here, tell my dad I said fuck him. And then I go inside.
Sounds good.
Guess we all go inside.
Yep.
Are we all going inside?
As you enter, there is a woman chained to the wall on the back wall by one arm. The other lies limp by her side with a hand missing. Immediately, Strix, you would recognize this woman as Kimberly.
What have they done?
Turn to Defender and say, was it a good hand? Was it delectable?
Ben kind of shrugs. Could have been better.
As you enter into the
okay,
room, there is a pirate sat at the table in front of this grisly feature on the wall. He is wearing a bright green shirt with orange checkers. He's wearing a purple pair of pantaloons. He's wearing a large dark red cravat with a bright yellow tie over the top. He has on one hat that is very sort of at a jaunty angle with a bloody dagger drawn on the front as his emblem. He has a sword by his side. He has, a small dagger on the other side that is serrated, and you can see blood still dripping from the dagger. He is wrapping his fingers on the table. Took you long enough. He looks over at Strix and he says, know this girl?
She looks familiar, but there was more of her last time I seen her.
Yes, well, sometimes people don't get the message. Well,
Yo,
Regardless, now that I've got you here, I have a job for you. I understand you are a little acquainted with the night, sir.
That is true.
There's a group of vampires just outside of town. Actually found this young lady taking care of them, like they were some sort of pets. And she said she knew you, and well, not in so many words, but she didn't say much at first, if we're honest. But hey, we got her talking, and she revealed quite a lot. She said she knew of you, at least. I understand you were arrested. I've been there a few times myself. You're part of the big explosion out to sea?
Yep, I was there.
It's quite the sight. Bit of drama. I love a new player in town. Now, you see, these vampires outside of town, I'd like them to do something for me. In fact, I'd like them to do lots of things for me. But, I don't quite fancy making their acquaintance face to face, if you catch my drift. Now, you can take this pitiful priest with you, and do with her whatever you wish. If you wish to finish your meal, no, that is absolutely fine by me. But regardless, you may take her with you when you leave. Provided you go straight to the lair of the vampires. Well, I say straight. Perhaps you may wish to visit them in the daytime, I understand, but come morning, I expect you to go down there. Let them know that Cray's got some work for them. That's all.
Can't miss brunch, man. I got invited to like this really fancy mansion.
You can't miss brunch?
So yeah, you're. I think you're on your own for that one, Strix. Pat him on the back.
With almost no movement whatsoever, a dagger is flung directly at you, Musk. You take 2 points of piercing damage.
First of all, sir, you didn't ask for me. That dagger was unnecessary.
Oh, you were saying that brunch might be more important than working for Cray. It's time you learned the way of the world around here. You've been seen in Slink's Paradise.
I don't know who you
More
are.
fool you.
Didn't ask for me.
Name's Cray. I didn't ask for you, but you came. So you'll be helping.
That's because you asked. Yo, I can't miss. Okay, I'm gonna turn to Strix. Dude, we gotta be fast about this. I can't miss the brunch.
Can we, by chance, handle this after this brunch thing? It's more for information
Who
gathering
the
than
fuck
actual
are you
brunch.
having brunch with that could be more important than staying alive?
Well, first of
the
all,
Ember
it's
Crest.
this guy.
The Ember
Yeah.
Crests? Shit, Jesus, you've got
Yeah.
fingers in big pies. Well, that changes your predicament. I apologize for the dagger. Well,
You can
yes.
certainly take care of your request tomorrow.
Perhaps after you visited
After
the
that.
Ember Crests. In fact... Oh, I tell you what, though. You're popping into Embercrest Manor.
Fuck.
All of
I
their
had to bring up the Ember Crest.
all of their cutlery has their insignia
I'm
on
sorry.
it.
I'm that intelligent.
He looks down at Lusk and he says, "You can bring me a piece of cutlery with the Embercrest signature on it. I'll give you 1,000 rubles.
Oh, fuck, I
That'll
can do
look good
that.
in my cupboard."
He can give you the entire drawer full of cutlery.
I like your
if you really wanted
style.
it.
I like your style.
However,
And you can
if
attend
want,
your brunch before you visit the vampires.
However, if you want the entire drawer, that's gonna have to wait for like a day or two. But if you want like a singular fork, we could probably do that tomorrow.
Bring me a fork. Show you can do it. Then maybe I'll have a lot more business for you if you're that good. Fingers in pies. Fingers in pies. And you were seen at Agatha's. And Slink's. And you came into town with the Doolittles. Now, fingers in many pies. Have you spoken to Kivas?
Never heard of him.
Fuck, there's so many people to talk to.
They were on the list. It's been a busy day.
Well, Kivas is the representative of the Shadow Vale here. I do a lot of business with the Shadow Vale. They pay in gold, you see. And gold is scarce seen in Sogravia these days. Now, I'm not suggesting you do anything of any sort, because operating with a Shadow Vale brings a nature of danger to itself that even I'm careful of. But, should you wish, pop to your local games master. You'll find him in the tavern. And when you do, just tell him the odds are against you. He'll hook you up.
Well,
Kivas is a good
lot
enough
of
kind for
people-
the Shadow Vale, but watch your step around the rest of them. They can be a real problem.
a lot of people want us to talk to them.
You
I
got
feel like
fingers in
that's
a lot
the
of
universe
pies.
telling us.
You got fingers in a lot of pies. I mean, look at it. You've been here a couple of days. You've been a Slinks. You've been a Hagatha. You're sitting on Cray's boat. You've got a brunch with the Embercrests. And you came in with the Doolittles. You probably don't know who the Doolittles are, do you?
No.
A shitty farm family?
Only the most
Okay, they're
successful
not shitty.
Only the most successful smugglers in the last 100 years on the western coast.
I kind of figured that much.
Yeah.
I don't feel okay. First of all, I don't feel like they're successful. I just feel like the guards are failures.
Oh, you'd be surprised how many of those guards Eliza has paid in one way or another to look the other way, you see. She's got them in the palm of her hand.
Noted. Thank you.
And while we're talking, let's get some names out of you first. Pretty boy, what's your name?
Keiko.
Your actual name?
No. I don't. I
Okay,
lost my actual
Losk it
name.
is. Very good. All right, the next one. Well, I know who you are. And he points to Tylen. And he points to Warren. He says, and I know who you are. You, however, Curveball. Curveball, what's going on with you? And how do I know who you are? That'll cost you.
What? To ask a goddamn question?
Let's just say there's a lot of story involved with that one. Let's just say I knew you in a previous life.
Oh.
But hey, this is a tale for another time. Let us get a bit more acquainted. But you! And he gestures towards Defender and he says, Curveball, no idea. What have you done? Wandered it off the plains? What's your name?
Defender.
Defender. Somewhat something pleasure, maybe. Not quite sure. But still, you getting good in a fight? You look it.
Sure, you could say that. I've been in many fights.
You'll fit in well here. Well, with us. Ever been to sea?
Apart from being on that boat, not exactly.
I'm not exactly sure. That was an optional trip. Hey, you ever feel like sailing the seven seas? We could do with somebody of your type on board. Intimidating when you look out the side of your eye. Ever feel like pirating? I'll take you along.
We can start that chocolate factory with him.
A what factory?
The chocolate factory.
Never heard of it. Why do you make something that I've never heard of? Well, it's fair to say Cray ain't heard of much. They never did tell me I was the brightest. But definitely the most connected. Anyway, you scurry along, get me a fork, have a chat with some vampires, and just tell them I want business, and hand them this. And he hands you a small signet ring. Who would like to take it?
I can take it.
As you take it, Argo, you hear "ha-ha" in your ear very loudly. It's fair to say you jump a little bit. And he smiles and says, I can never resist, I can never resist. Safe to say that if this is held by anybody, I can parlay. I won't slip into your mind again if you don't hold it directly in your hand. I'd rather not hear your thoughts all day, so pop it away if you would, sir.
I'll stick it in my pouch. I don't know what I've got. Sure, a pouch.
A pouch will do. Many pouches, kangaroo man. Yep, that's at this point he sort of nods towards the lady at the door. It's a lady you hadn't previously noticed, but she's a very slight, young looking girl. But as she puts her hand to your back, Defender, to guide you out the door, immense strength is felt within those hands. Sorry, Talon, is it windy over there?
Yeah.
Well, you're just going. Atmospheric noises are wonderful. So he's clearly quite forcefully gesturing that you leave. As an afterthought, he leans over, he unlocks Kimberly's one hand. She is unconscious, and he sort of tosses her your way. She sprawls on the deck at your feet.
Right.
I'll
Ben will pick her up.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's probably for the best.
I want to cast Cure Wounds on her, though.
Okay. You can do that.
Just to make her feel a little better and not so dead. I'll do it at second level.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're gonna have a
Yeah.
long rest.
Numbers?
Hold on. Uh, 14.
She comes to very slightly and she looks Strix directly in the eye. You came. I'm sorry I gave them your name.
I'm sure you were left with no choice.
Left's not very good for me anymore, but right still works. She waves her right hand that's still attached. But hey, which one of you brought me to?
That would have been Losk, and I'll gesture towards her. Him.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And she sort of fumbles about her neck, and she's clearly missing something. And she turns back to the pirate and she spits at him. She says, "What use have you for a holy symbol?" And he sort of sighs and he goes, "Oh, I almost forgot." And he chucks a necklace towards her that looks almost worthless. Sort of it's black metal and painted with a small holy symbol on it. And as she grasps it, you see the vitality sort of returning to her body. She looks almost well apart from the missing hand. And she taps you on the shoulder, Defender, and says, "I can walk from here."
Right.
If you'd kindly.
Defender puts her down.
Thank you. Can we get out of here?
As quickly as possible.
Okay. If you'd like to make your way down the gangway, as you retreat onto land, she turns to you, Strix, and she sort of wraps an arm around your shoulder and says, "It's been so long. How are you faring?"
It's not been easy, but we're both survivors.
You escaped the guards.
Guards are never difficult to escape from.
As much is true.
Especially dead ones.
I must head to the temple. I have a lot to consider. I know that perhaps it's not the place you're most welcome, but are you staying locally?
I think I'll be staying at the tavern.
If you're around in a couple of days, I'd like to pop by. If you must visit these vampires, know that they're not a bad sort. They're just trying to make a living.
I'll keep that in mind.
You always did. Farewell, Warren, and keep safe.
Same to you.
She turns determinedly towards the temple and begins to stride off.
You didn't want her hand back?
I think keep that a secret.
I think we shouldn't tell her about that.
Yes, I don't think you should tell her you ate a bit of her. So people don't tend to take that very well.
She wasn't doing anything with it anymore anyways.
At this point, it's fair to say it's sort of 10:30 p.m.
Okay. I assume that in ye olden days, taverns would be pretty lively around this time.
Yes.
Okay. I want to head there.
Okay. Does the party join her?
We're all heading there.
Okay.
Yep.
As you sidle on
yeah.
up to the tavern, you can hear music coming from within. The hustle and bustle of people. There are a couple of gents outside smoking a pipe. You recognize one of them as the alchemist who asked you to get Agatha to visit him. Yeah, it's fair to say, you know, maybe a couple of them you've seen around town, but nobody who's specifically important, just various people.
Oh.
Are we going in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask. Does this tavern double as like an inn as well?
Yes, you stayed there twice. You have a free room there at any time you wish. It was given to you by... Who was it given to you? No, sorry, you do not have a free room there anytime you wish. I apologize, I've confused you with a different group. But you do, however, have a room there for tonight, should you wish.
Definitely. That
Sorry?
That's definitely one of my characters that did that.
Yeah, so... no, actually, that's not who I was referring to, but anyway, yeah. You head on in, and there's a young-looking, flamboyant bard playing on the lute in the corner and singing a bit of a bawdy song. Two halflings are dancing upon a table. And various people are, sat around, eating, drinking, making merry. Three dwarves sat at a table talking rapidly and sort of not arguing, but they're very animated in their discussion. A young elf girl sits by the door, her head in her hands, looking a little glum. And, most of the others are still there. At the games table, two halflings and an elf are arguing furiously over some dice.
I'm gonna walk over to the elven girl.
She looks up at you. Can I help you?
Why the long face?
Should ask your friend that. It's not been an easy day.
I don't got friends.
It's not been an easy day, let's put it that simply. How about you? How's your day been?
Been busier. Only tomorrow is gonna be even worse.
What's your name?
Keiko.
Oh. It's unusual. Well, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I had a bit of a falling out today.
Oh?
Yeah. People aren't always what you expect,
May I ask what that may be?
Suffice to say that the magic types are never trustworthy.
Oh, is it safe to assume that the Magus Arcane did something?
Yes, you could say that. I was trying to help out Maestro Furlock. He's the illusion maestro at the Magus Arcane. And how was I meant to know? He said... Well... This is gonna sound so stupid, but... He said to hand him a shirt. How was I meant to know that he'd put on weight and he was feeling embarrassed and... I don't know, and then he did this to me, and she turns her hands over, and they are bright red with blisters, both hands. They look very painful.
Is this like a magical...
The ailment might have been caused by magic, but it is most definitely physical now.
Okay. Can I cast... Yeah, I can. I would like to put my hand on her as I cast Cure.
As soon as you touch her, she flinches back and says, "What are you doing?"
Well, first of all, those look very painful.
They are.
Just trying to help.
Oh. I apologize. I'm a little skittish. Let's just say that most mages I've met are not the gentlest. She reaches her hands out tentatively towards you. Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on the second level again.
As you cast your Cure Wounds, the wounds disappear, and she... Oh my, that's so much better. So, maybe I should tell you a little more. It just makes no sense. I handed him a shirt, and he insists that he can't have put any more weight in the last couple of days, and Maestro Furlock is... Well, he's a little of the self-conscious type, and he says that every day this shirt's been getting smaller. And, well, that just doesn't make any sense, does it? Shirts don't get smaller, people get bigger.
Well, it could be a magical prank.
Well, why do such things so pointless? And this is not the first thing, I got blamed for that stupid... Well, maybe it was a magical prank. I got blamed for another magical prank, and... Well, now that you say it, that makes so much sense. But who would want to frame me? I'm just an acolyte. I've done no harm to anyone.
I have no clue. But I have heard that the Magus Arcane is kind of, shady.
I'd say competitive. The acolytes never give up. If you're not perfect in every class, they never leave you alone, you know? It was only 3 days ago I was working for Jaskell, and Jaskell is one of the most peaceful and kind headmasters at the Mages College. But halfway through the experiment we were doing, the beakers just exploded, and then he thought it was me, and I did nothing.
If you say it's competitive, maybe someone's just trying to steal your spot.
Oh, I'd understand that if I was any use, but I'm rubbish at this magic stuff. I only joined the college because my mother made me, because I didn't really have... didn't always have the best of control of my magic, she grins. But, you know, I'm capable of a couple of small things. Like this, she says, and she raises her hand, and out of her hand comes a beautiful sort of flowery arrangement of light. And she hands it to you, and as you put your hand on it, it solidifies, and a bouquet of flowers is within your hand. She says, just a little thanks.
Thank you. This is impressive. This is more than what I can ever do.
A little less useful.
Which one, which Mage's Arcane dude did she get blamed for the shirt thing?
Jaskell, sorry. Name's in chat, Twitch chat, so if anybody wants to grab it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you around these parts by any chance?
I study at the college. I've lived here for all my life.
Okay, do you by chance know of a halfling called Half-Hand?
Everybody's been looking for the half-hand. It's been the story for 1.5 years since I remembered. Nobody seems to have a lead, but, you know, with a skill like yours, maybe you could inquire in some of the more interesting places in town. You ever been to Slinks?
Shit, which one was that?
Slinks Paradise. It's
I know we
it's
have.
where
Shady.
Rosalind took you. You might want to ask around Slinks. They might know a little bit more. That's the best I can give you on that, I'm afraid.
So you've never seen him before, just heard of him?
No, but one of the maestros saw him. Killian. He stole an amulet from Killian. One that allows you to speak to the dead. But Killian insists it was the half-hand. He says the same note as usual was left. But I don't think he saw him. But I'm told he's a very slight halfling, dark of hair. That's about all I know.
Thank you. May I have your name?
Of course, my name's Lily. And yours? I did ask that, didn't I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't take it down. What was your name? The name you gave was Keiko. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. And have a good evening, and thanks again for your kindness. Kindness is rare in these parts.
Okay, I'm gonna turn to the party and give them the
information,
drama.
yep.
And
All the infos.
yeah.
So the half-hand stole an amulet that lets you talk to the dead.
Yeah.
And then Brother Marcus came to me to find an amulet that lets him speak to the dead, that the vampires have outside of town. Is that related?
You tell me.
Sounds related.
How common are these amulets that speak to the dead? That's the real question.
Well, there seems to be a lot of drama within the Magus Arcane, so I'm sure if we did something, you know.
Like what?
Well, if you did something heinous, chances are they're gonna turn against each other because of how competitive their little circle is.
A very pretty woman places her hand on your arm, Strix. And says, excuse me for interrupting. You guys new around town?
Most of us are, yeah.
You joined up with the Sisterhood?
No.
Have you heard of the Sisterhood?
Can't say that I have.
Only one.
Traveling
of us
bands?
is like-
No, the Sisterhood of Luminescence. We fight the Shadow Veil. Here, and she hands you a flyer. This is our most recent recruit. This here is the last Aasimar, and he's going to save us all. Should you ever...
Aasimar?
The last Aasimar, yes. And on the front is a picture of a beautiful-looking Aasimar.
Sure he is.
He goes by Gideon.
I once knew an Aasimar, but his name was not Gideon. Shame.
You knew an
Guess he
Aasimar?
died. Yeah. Long time ago. I haven't seen him in probably a decade now. I'm sure he's dead.
Honey, no one's
If
seen an
this-
Aasimar alive except for Gideon in 37 years.
Have you looked everywhere?
Their pantheon died. He was sheltered in a sisterhood for many years. Most interesting. Perhaps you've met him. Perhaps in his youth,
No,
where
I
he was
haven't.
sheltered. Well, strange,
He
strange.
went by a different name.
People do, Keiko.
Okay, first of all, I don't have a name. How dare you?
I think it's fair to say you have many names. But alas, now, I've given you the spiel, but it's fair to say you're not your average town members, so let me give you the other spiel. Sisterhood works to combat the Shadow Veil in a far more complex manner than you might realize. Daily we recruit heroes to our side to fight against the evil that is on our borders, and whilst I know that you may not be the people with the cleanest of records, and she looks over to Strix and she says, "Oh, the most normal of natures," it's fair to say you may be the people most likely to be able to associate with the Shadow Veil without raising suspicion. Should you wish, anytime you wish work, hand this coin to the barman, and somebody will contact you. But give it a couple of days. I'm a little busy around town at the moment. I didn't introduce myself, I apologize. My name's Ula Shadowmantle. I'm the Sisterhood representative around town. But a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and it's good to finally meet you. Then she looks over at Tylen, and she says, "Have you found anything out about your past?"
What's there to find out?
You ever questioned why you're here? What you're doing in the world? And I don't mean in a philosophical sense. You ever questioned the nature of your second birth?
How do you know about that?
The Sisterhood know a lot. Should you help us down the line, perhaps some answers might be revealed.
Sister should keep their fucking hands to themselves.
Perhaps,
I agree.
perhaps.
She's being creepy with my names.
But we're paid well to watch, and watch we do. I'll leave you to your business. I'm sure you have plenty of things to do, plenty of people to see, but just a word of warning, should you embrace the truly darker sides of town, you may need to watch your back. And with one motion, suddenly she's no longer standing in front of you.
So even though it's called Sisterhood, they're letting us work for them, do their little dirty jobs.
It's fair to say that their mission is to combat the Shadow Veil, and they don't really care how they go about it.
Fair.
People really don't like these Shadow Veil fellas. Is what I'm gathering today.
They are trying to invade the last bastion of civilization in the world. It's fair to say most people probably don't like them, yeah, that's correct.
Definitely me talking to the party. But thank you, God.
Oh, sorry!
I choose to talk in this voice when I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
Clearly.
you have a point. It's not exactly your normal voice.
God just
Okay, I tell you what. I tell you what. It's sort of 11:30 at night. Is there anybody else in the tavern you would like to engage with before the night ends? Please say no. Just say no and go to bed.
Everyone.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is a Monday, right? Like Monday,
Yeah.
11:30 at night.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go to bed and wake up very, very early to get my day started.
Yeah, we should probably go to bed.
Just okay. The party go to their room. I'm really sorry, guys. We need to take a short break. My brain is just gone. Welcome back. I'm a little bit more perky. I've had a minute to refresh my thoughts and make some notes. I apologize for those of you who are trying to keep track. We couldn't even keep track ourselves. I accidentally joined the party a moment ago. The voice of God came to one of our party members in return. But it's fair to say you've had a nice long rest in the tavern, so please do so. And you resume in the morning. It is 5 a.m. And Tynon, you are wide awake, of course. And perhaps this is a sort of time where your party might wish to be awake. Oh, we've never had one of these before. Quick moment out. DM question directly to Losk in your character response, please. Who was the name of the Aasimar you once knew?
His name was Gabriel, and I knew him.
Interesting. When will I know of him? I mean, actually know of him, not...
You know him, DM.
I do know him, but I don't know him, you know? Like... Yeah. I know of him. But,
No, you know him.
Oh, no, I know I also know him very well, but yes, that is a true spoiler, so let's not give that out anyway. But yeah, okay. Well, hopefully, Jack, that answers your question. 5 a.m. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey.
Say we should walk into Vienne to find him. You set that shit up?
Sorry?
Our deceased party member or whatever the hell you did to him?
Oh, you chose to not go and find him. He was last seen at Hagatha's. He can stay there if you like.
I thought he was in a room.
No. He was going to be in a room, and then he got abducted on the docks.
Gotcha.
We assume that he went off with Rosalind because Rosalind was also on the docks.
Yeah, I remember that. I was just confused because he told me two different things that he wanted to do with him.
Yeah. It turned out a different way.
I was trying to help him out.
Nope, 5 a.m. We're awake. We're awake. Vianen is missing. Last seen at Hagatha's.
Okay.
Okay, we have an hour until the Enchantress gets here. Why don't we go look for him? Both of them aren't back. Maybe that raises some concern.
Okay. Why not?
Are you heading out of the room? Are you heading out of the room, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, as you head out of the room, you bump into the young serving girl, Iona. And she's, ooh, early morning for you guys. Would you like any breakfast, or shall I leave it in the room for you?
You probably won't be back for a while. Can we get it to go?
Of course you can. Of course you can. Give me a minute. And she scurries off down the stairs. Assuming that you will follow.
Yeah.
I'll just make my way outside the tavern, since I don't eat.
That's what I'm looking for. There we go.
Oh, me too, I guess.
Okay.
I'll just grab it for Defender and I then.
As you come down the stairs, she is hastily wrapping up in what appears to be a sort of flower bed. Flower bed?
Vegetarian meal today.
Sour bread roll. Fuck
flour
me.
bread.
Flower bed.
I love.
She's wrapping it in a
I
flower
love
bed.
the taste of flower bed in the morning.
A hint of rose petal.
Leave me alone. She's wrapping egg, bacon, sausage, etc. in a sour bread roll and handing it to you. She wishes you best of mornings. The bartender is looking absolutely exhausted behind the bar, polishing some glasses.
Alright, I'm gonna take both of them and I'm gonna hand the other one to Defender.
Okay. Munch away with pleasure. And we're headed down to the docks, you said. You're going back to Hagatha. Oh, no.
Yes.
I mean, you yes,
Fighting
me
with
no.
them.
Okay. As you head down to Hagatha's boat, you see her out on deck, pacing to and fro.
Are we walking up to her?
Me and Strix don't know who she is or what she looks like, so.
Yeah, we weren't here for that part.
I'll walk up to her because,
In the same guise that she's seen you before, correct?
yeah.
Okay, she waves in greeting and she goes, "Oh, thank goodness. I had no idea where to find you guys. I'm a bit of a problem. If you want to come join me."
Okay. I will tell you though, I have 2 other companions. That you
Oh,
haven't
the
met
more the merrier, the more the merrier.
All
This
right.
is something of interest. And she leads you to her cabin, and she opens the door. And on the floor are pieces of Vienna, cut into. There's an arm, a leg, a head, all separated.
You hungry, Defender?
Somebody left this gift on my boat this morning. He was with you, correct?
He was.
A friend?
Are we allowed to take the
Acquaintance.
body parts?
Not at all.
Please do.
All right. I'm gonna take up the hand and give it to Defender. How's this for comparison?
Fen kind of looks it over. I don't even want to try. It probably tastes nasty, and she kind of throws
Taste?
it back at you.
Jesus.
I trust her-
Agatha sort of
I
hangs
trust
her head in
her
her hands.
judgment.
Oh, goodness me. Anyway, if you could dispose of it, I don't suppose you know who might have wanted to kill him.
I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have wanted to kill him.
I raise my hand.
That's fair,
I
that's fair.
attempted to.
Don't know why he was left on my boat, but, well. Anyway, best of luck to you guys, and, you see Rosalind, you let her know that I popped by the alchemists for her. And, can you give her this? And she hands you a small pouch.
Cool.
What's? Can I look inside?
Yeah, I mean, by all means, it's a bracelet.
Oh, okay.
It's, some news of her old ship came in. She was asking down here yesterday about it. She headed down to the, how do I put this? Well, you'll find out soon enough if you're hanging with Rosalind. She headed down to the coves to, have a word with some of the smugglers in town. And, while she was down there, some word came back regarding the boat she's lost. And this bracelet. If you'd return it to her and tell her that I'd like a word with her when she's back. Most appreciated.
Will do. I'm gonna put it away somewhere safe.
Same place as you're putting Viennan's arm, I assume. Yep.
Well, I feel like I'm just gonna gather up his body parts and I'm just gonna throw them overboard.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
Oh,
He's
I
dealt
wanna,
with.
I wanna
Yeah.
just kick his fucking head off the boat.
Cruel.
Punt it like a
Goddamn nobles!
American football.
Feels good to do that to him.
And
I
yeah,
haven't forgotten about you either.
she nods to you and says, "Well, that concludes our business for the day."
Yeah, thank you.
Got any more corpses? I assume. So yeah.
Not as far as I'm aware, but apparently with home delivery service being dropped on my doorstep each morning with body parts, who knows what tomorrow will bring. But anyway, a pleasant day to you all. You might note that this is incredibly out of character for Hagatha, who was a bit of a cow the first time you met her. But alas, I suppose having a body delivered on your boat might change your demeanor for the day.
Maybe she's a morning person.
Maybe she is. If you wanted to catch Kaelin, you better be quick.
Oh yeah. So, walk my way downtown.
Yeah? Walking fast?
Yep.
Good.
Faces do not pass because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
What, are you homebound?
No.
So let's take a little small cut of the map for now, just so that we can see more clearly. Excuse my terrible dragging skills and face covering. There you go. Oh no, my face is definitely taken up by that. So as you head on down to the outfitters, you see very early, but doors are beginning to open. You'd be able to head in should you wish.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna head in.
Okay. Well, good morning. Good morning. You ordered some clothes, did you, Levy? Is that correct?
No, I didn't. He just took my fake name.
Ah, yes, that's the one.
It was
Keiko,
Rosalind
such a
who ordered
pleasure, such a
something.
pleasure. What can I do for you?
Hi, you said that there is an enchantress who makes her way over here? these
Kaylin!
days?
Someone to see ya. Beautiful looking female elf, dark brown hair, bright green sparkling eyes, a very slight figure, dressed in appears to be green forester's clothes. Comes around the counter. Says, well, good morning. What can I do for you?
Morning, you must be Kayla?
I am, and yourself?
Keiko.
A pleasure, a pleasure. At this point, the outfitter himself sort of heads out back. Bellathor has obviously got plenty of stuff to do out back, so he heads out while Caitlin's in the front of the shop.
Hello. That's the name of the Roman god of the sky. You must be very powerful. The name suits you.
Why, thank you. Powerful. Perhaps not in a traditional sense. I wouldn't be much use to you in a battle, but should you go in wearing some things I've made, well, yeah, I think it's fair to say.
I was wondering, would you by chance be able to make a shift weave?
I would. Components are expensive, though. And it'll take a little bit of time. What did you have in mind?
Probably something of... I don't know, just... I'm not too particular about the shift weave. I just think it would be useful in my endeavors.
Somebody who likes to surprise each person they see, I guess. Well, for you, my dear, I think we can make an agreement. There'll be 50 rubles up front, that's for sure. I've got some components I'll need to purchase. And then perhaps we might agree some form of installments as I make some progress.
That sounds good. After, I guess when it's completed, how much would it be?
Say 500, 600? For you, of course.
How long would it take? Because unfortunately, at the moment, I do not have the money. However, I do plan on picking up
Looking for funds,
side
are we?
jobs.
Well, suffice to say, I cannot proceed to the next step until I have the money for the next level of next layer of components. So each time it'll probably be between 50 and 100 rubles, and the wait will be purely a day or two between. But it's up to you. You know, if you need a few days to gather the funds, then I'll take a few days off. If you wish to visit me at home instead of here so that we can make progress a little swifter, I'm not too far from here. If you head down to the Magus Arcane, and I don't know if you know Leoval, the recruiter, but I live 2 doors down.
Hold on, sorry, let me write this down.
Leoval, the recruiter, is the Magus Arcane recruiter you met earlier. 2 doors to the right where you would find Kaylin's house. Perhaps you might stop by in the evening.
Okay, that
Any given day.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. And I'm gonna hand her the 50
Rubles.
up front.
I have some fine elven wine that perhaps we can sample while we discuss the ins and outs of what you would like.
That would be splendid.
A pleasure, a pleasure. And who are these friends of yours?
These are my companions. They're gonna be helping, or not really helping me, but we're going to be picking up the jobs together.
An interesting group of people. unusual around these parts. There is something I might be able to provide on the side while making a shift weave, you see. I also am renowned for the cloaks I make that allow you to... I really don't want to cause offense, but... And she glances at Defender and says, perhaps some of us have more to conceal than others. It's fair to say these might allow you to pass a little more unnoticed, should you wish. Should you be able to gather 700 rubles, I can throw in a few of these.
Gonna be like the disappearing pants, but it's a shirt.
No, these are cloaks of concealment. They allow you to alter the way you look.
Can you make any magical item that's not a weapon?
Weapons are not out of my arsenal. It depends on the quality of the original product, but I'm yet to see an enchantment that somebody desires that I was incapable of making.
How about a mask of many faces?
It could be done, but pure diamonds are hard to come by, and are required for the making of it. You'd be looking at, say, 1,500 rubles, but I could do it. But
Okay.
the cloaks of concealment, although more limited in uses, would in some ways allow you the same properties, sir. If you are familiar with this spell, and she gestures with her hand, and before you is a large-looking, grumpy orc. It's clear she has cast it all to herself for those of you who have the arcane knowledge. And then she waves her hand again and it dissipates. The cloaks can allow you the same properties, albeit slightly more limited in use. If they would interest you.
I really only need to fix my face.
I don't think it needs fixing. You're quite the handsome lad, from what I can see. Such eyes.
Oh, eyes only. Interesting.
Such eyes, though.
Yeah. Well, nothing else is pretty after that.
A shame. She turns back to Losk, or Keiko. So, 100 gold piece, 100 ruble installments? Would that work for you?
I believe that's completely doable.
I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening if you're free. Share that wine with us.
Assuming that we don't get blackmailed further, I should be free.
Blackmail, you say?
Yeah, you know that Cray guy.
Oh dear, that's a place you don't want to step foot in. Well, should you have problems with Cray, there ain't much I can do for you, but he's a fair sort in his own way, has his own twisted sense of honor, if you know what I mean. Hope you're not in too deep.
Oh, no. As far as I know, he does, or at least at the very least, he pretended to have a sense of respect.
He does that. Yeah, as I said, a twisted sense of honor.
I'm not too worried, but also, I've been meaning to ask, are you a part of the Magus Arcane?
Why, of course. Why do you ask?
No, just wondering. You seem to live very close to the recruiter dude.
I do. I make a lot of items for the college itself. I've worked there for many, many years. Close friends with a few people there. Those who are a little less difficult to work with, to be fair. A lot of it's just old men who haven't quite understood that they've outlived their usefulness. But yeah, it's fair to say I've a roads in and a roads out. What about yourself? You a mage of a sort?
No, not really. I'm more interested in arts. Is everybody here who's affiliated with magic affiliated with the Magus Arcane?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say. They have their uses. There is a Bard's College within the Magus Arcane, should you be interested.
Noted.
They're a lot more free-minded and far easier to work with and far more pleasant humans. Or varied races, I suppose, but mostly humans. If you were at the tavern last night, where I believe Bellathor mentioned you were staying, you would have seen one of our bards there.
caught my eye, but I didn't want to interrupt his performance.
Darling, Justin catches all the eyes, if you know what I mean. But, certainly he wouldn't be interested in my type. Perhaps he, would be more interested in your
Style.
type, if you would. But alas, enough for Justin. As I said, come by tomorrow evening, anytime after 7 p.m. Lady's good for me, and we'll sample some of that wine and get to know each other a little better.
That sounds splendid.
Wonderful. Have a
Alright,
good day to you.
My business is done here. I don't know if anybody else wants to do something.
Nah, I'm good.
No, I asked what I wanted to ask.
Okay, well, a pleasant day.
7 o'clock. Okay, what time is it?
About 7 o'clock, ironically, but AM.
Alright. Do you think we can do the vampire thing in 4 hours?
You can try.
4 hour. Why in 4 hours?
Because I have brunch at 11.
Poor Losk is having clock problems right now. It is fair to say that should you not be able to do it in quite that amount of time, it is only a short way out of town. You may be able to return.
Do you guys think we could speed run a quest?
Give it a try.
As far as I know, we're just going to talk to them. Not sure why that would take more than 4 hours.
Indeed.
We have a lot to talk about, aren't we?
Yeah, people are just
Shit
war
to talk
dumping on
about.
us.
True.
Alright, let's
Especially
go
about our own lords.
Okay, yeah, let's go talk to the vampires. Maybe they're up this early.
Okay, as you head your way through town and to the main gate, you come out and take a left as instructed, and a short distance down the road, over there somewhere, you would come upon a small opening to what appears to be a fairly small cave.
Anybody got dark vision?
I do.
Go.
Guess I'll lead the way.
Okay, as you enter into the cave, it is very, very dimly lit, but enough so that even the most basic of human eyes would be able to make out small details. And you come across three gentlemen of the more vampiric inclinity, and they've noticed you. A brief nod is shared. To you. It's a greeting, if such.
How you find people doing in this cave out of town?
As well as our kind can be, I guess. What brings you here?
I have received word you hold an amulet that someone would like back.
It's coming very useful, you see. Now,
I bet.
Samuel here lost his wife before he turned. How long would you need it for?
Probably forever.
Samuel, what do you think? What's the problem here? And a sort of morose-looking elven vampire looks over towards you. And sort of is holding his amulet tightly. I'm not sure I can part with this.
Would it be possible, like based off of previous knowledge, to know how rare those
Very.
pieces of amulets are?
You would know they're very rare.
Okay.
How is it you came to own this amulet anyway?
A priestess gave it to us. She looked after us a while, brought us some animal meat and some blood when necessary. And she brought it to Samuel out of pity.
You're saying Kimberly gave you the amulet?
She did. You know Kimberly?
I do. I know her quite well. I didn't know she looked after people like
You're
us.
the one. Yeah, apparently since she knew you, she's taken a bit of a strange turn in life. And she tries to keep us Dampiers, from turning down darker roads, if you know what I mean.
She's been giving you guys a good hand.
I could try speak to Brother Marcus, the original owner of the amulet, I believe. If at any time you
Brother
wish to try to
Marcus?
speak to your wife.
She said it was from the Magus Arcane. Interesting.
Oh, either way. That's where I was planning on returning it to. But if you ever need to speak to your wife or any other lost one, we could perhaps have a deal where you can borrow the amulet.
Perhaps you should present that deal to him first. I'm not willing to part with it today.
No, that's fair enough.
I don't mean to intrude.
Yes. Can I help you?
But, we weren't just sent for the amulet. Some dude down at the docks wants to talk to y'all.
Do you have a name?
Cray.
At this moment, a shadowy figure steps out from the back of the cave and pulls back his hood, revealing his dark elf heritage. Cray, you say? What does he want?
He just has some jobs.
Did he give you anything?
We didn't. I'm sorry?
Did he give you anything?
No. He was just, threatening, Kimberly chick.
I will
You know.
toss the guy in the back the ring that Craig gave me.
And catches it. Now that's more like it. And you see him focus inwards for a brief moment. Okay. Thank you. These gentlemen here were never really part of that deal. But thank you very much for your delivery. Did Cray say he'd pay you? And then he tosses you a small pouch. 200 rubles. It says, with thanks. And one of these, and he tosses you what appears to be a small golden coin, likes of which you would never have seen. But it is definitely pure gold. He says, don't spend that in the wrong places, you'll be arrested, but if you ever have any interests in the Underdark, or the world underneath as they call it, you may ask for me. But you may ask through Cray, or you can find us in most places. We have an informant at Sphinx Paradise in town, should you wish. Just let the bartender know you'd like to speak to Kimlar.
I will definitely do that. Thank you.
And then he turns back to you and he says, "You mentioned somebody's asking after the amulet that priestly woman gave our friend here. Is that correct?"
Yeah. Yep.
I think you might want to question who the original owner is. A friend of ours secured that amulet for Kimberly.
What's this friend?
He's a thief around town that is known to be able to get his hands on the rarest of goods. Managed to creep. He is? You've heard of the Half-Hand then?
I wish to get into contact with him.
Do you?
I have a job.
Well, Half-Hand has a long list of jobs. Contacting Half-Hand's difficult, but he comes to us once a month. I can give him your name if you'd like. Where can you be contacted?
I kind of look back to the group. Are we going to be staying in Carthon for a long time?
Honey, you
We
can
could.
contact us anywhere around the world. Any bar, any tavern. Find the darker sides of town. With connections. We'll get in touch. Just don't ask for me by nature. Ask me by name. I'll come to you. Does that work?
It's Lusk.
Yeah.
Lost, you say. And yourselves? Vampire?
My name is Stritz.
Good to meet you. What about you, lass?
Defender.
Guy around town's asking for you.
Guy around town. Can you be a little more specific?
No, for once I cannot. I couldn't look into his mind. Only to those that perceived him. Dwarves are often resistant to magic, but this one was different.
They're resistant to
know.
fireball.
Sorry?
Oh no, it was a joke.
Okay. Yeah, it's, we keep our ear around town, but it's not often somebody of goodly nature just wanders into Slink's paradise and beats up a few bouncers. We took note. Seems you got someone after you, lass.
Seems I do.
And what about you, quiet one? What's your name?
Tylon.
Seems you share something in nature with, these gents here. Although perhaps yours was a little more optional. Or perhaps not.
Didn't say it was optional.
Oh, strange. Tales to tell, but besides... Dawn comes.
I would, Are those other guys still around?
Yeah, the three vampires are...
listening?
Yeah, right in front of you.
I'd like to take my mask off, and you can see a very pale, lifeless-looking face, and look at the guy who has the amulet and go, and for you, the dead like to stay dead. You should stop fucking them.
He looks down at the floor, looks back up at you and says, perhaps, but Saphira and I, what we had was special. She hasn't passed on. Says something, does it not?
I wonder why.
She tells me she's waiting.
Unfinished business.
A lot like not something you should be talking.
I'd just like to pass together. Make the journey hand in hand as we did through life. I've tried to
not
join her more soon, but the hunger gets me. But I appreciate your concern.
I'll put my mask back on.
The drow nods and says, Dawn comes. I must travel. Pleasure to meet you. And he paints a door on the wall with his finger and steps through it.
It's a neat trick.
Is there anything else we have to do at the vampire cave?
I do not think so. Spitting amulet and just talking to them.
How long is it until the fabled brunch time?
Let's say it's roughly 8:30 a.m. if the dawn is rising.
I was
It
gonna
is
say
October.
3 hours.
It is October.
I'm gonna look over to the dude with the amulet and say, I'm sure your wife is waiting for you at Heaven's Gate.
Thank you.
Of course, I don't know what heaven means, but it's a saying that my parents used to tell me.
None of us do, but I like to believe there's a life for us in the future. Anything's better than this. And he gestures towards himself.
I'd like to point at myself. No, not this.
Fair. You might have me there.
We need to work on your self-esteem, buddy, and I'll tap him on the shoulder.
He nods morosely. The vampire you first spoke to says, we've tried that. He's lost in his own memories. If anything, I'd say that amulet's doing him more harm than good, but... And then he shrugs.
Do we have time to talk to Brother Marcus before brunch?
Definitely.
All right.
Let's go.
Head to the
Let's
temple.
go.
I'm not sure talking is the only thing we should do.
I'll get him to talk. Don't you worry.
Yeah, as you head back into town, you arrive through the gate and you head to the temple where Brother Marcus is.
Brother Marcus, can we have a word in private?
Oh dear. Yes, I suppose. Come on then. He shows you to a small room where he stands against the wall, looking a little nervous.
I would like to stand in front of the exit while we're doing this.
And what brings you to the temple? Are you in need of healing?
No, but I need you to willingly accept this spell, and I'll cast Zone of Truth.
May I do the same?
We'll both be affected, so in here we can both speak openly.
Very well. What can I do for you?
We need to know where that amulet came from. So we're led to believe is not quite yours.
No, it is not. And I didn't get it for me. I had shadier days back in my past. Was known around Slinks. Still got a few contacts around town. I was able to contact somebody, if you would, and enlist for a job. The amulet you speak of belongs to Killian, the Maester of Necromancy at the Magus Arcane. But I secured it for Kimberly.
Wait a minute. I forgot his name. The halfling.
The half-hand?
Half hand.
The half-hand.
Perhaps. I
Are
don't...
you the half-hand?
Me? Never. I've been a priest for 10 years and kept on the right side of good. But I really couldn't see the harm in taking an amulet from somebody who practices necromancy daily and handing it to a man who truly missed his wife and was already leaning close to the borders of evil. I hoped only that this would help him stay away, and Kimberly was very persuasive. I merely used my previous contacts, and who took the job I couldn't say.
So you had no other use for the amulet apart from passing on?
At first, but I made a mistake. You see, the day before I handed it to Kimberly, I used it briefly. To contact my mentor. The man who brought me to the priestly side. I knew he wouldn't mind the brief interruption, and my regular spells were not able to contact him. But I was seen wearing the amulet. And now, Killian has sent various people to pursue me. And I need to retrieve the amulet.
Did you want to give it back to Killian, I guess?
I need to. Or my life is not going to be easy. You see, the priesthood here, they don't know much of my past. Kimberly does, but most of them don't. And I'd rather keep it that way.
This is a predicament.
Aye, that it is. That it is. Perhaps if you were to beseech Killian on my behalf. He's not known as the, He holds a grudge like no one else, but he's a fair man. And honest.
Problem is, there's a vampire quite addicted to that amulet, and we don't know how we're going to get it from him. Short of violence, but we're trying to avoid that.
Yes, I had the same problem. I was hoping you might be able to just steal it, but I suppose stealing from a vampire isn't stealing from a human. But if you would approach Killian on my behalf and perhaps see if he's willing to forget, and let him know that I did it for a good cause. Perhaps the money I offered originally, I could give you instead.
You know, I feel some.
Sorry, Moon, you cut
I know
out.
I haven't. I said, you know, I feel some sort of sentiment towards that vampire fellow, even though I stopped using it. Do have some feeling.
Occasionally, when the heart stirs by accident.
Basically.
I never understood the meaning of love as not ironic, as cheesy as it is.
Everyone has their own
cliché.
meanings for it. But I have an idea to make everyone happy. If we can talk to this fellow, I am a reborn.
Talk to Killian?
Yeah, I don't know. Then he gets to see a reborn individual and talk to them.
Well,
I get
first
the bargaining chip.
we need to see if he's interested in the first place. We could present, him meeting you as like a reward of sorts.
Yes, that's what I mean.
All right, cool.
Not that I'm too enthralled about that, but I feel bad for the vampire.
Actually, can I also turn into a reborn? Like change my shape?
You could change your shape, but you couldn't change your nature. So, realistically, it would be of very little use to him for you to look like a reborn.
Let's hope he doesn't
Also
keep
a
Thailand for
master of-
experimentation.
Oh, he'd clearly know that you are not
Master of some
actually. Yes.
sort of magic.
Yes, he'd clearly know that you weren't actually a reborn. He is he's the maestro of necromancy.
I like how you're thinking.
I have a negative 2 in wisdom.
All very truthful in the zone of truth.
Brother Marcus looks up to you and says, "Will you speak to Killian for me?
Yeah, we'll go talk to him.
You may struggle to get in.
Yeah. Can you help us with that?
No, but Athelian can. He sells passes, but he gives them to certain people if they are useful. You might beseech him either way. Athelian runs a shop in town. Can't miss it.
Yeah, we'll keep a lookout.
Thank you for your understanding. In return, perhaps I will not mention that you came by.
That's probably for the best.
Glad to see you're not dead.
Not just for his sake either.
That too. Well, best of luck to you all, and perhaps if you wish to take, and then he gestures towards the side door, it might be better for us all.
I'll slink out the side door.
Give us said gold.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 200 rubles. The rest is assumably given to you on completion of said quest.
That's 40 gold each. Or rubles, sorry.
That is.
Okay.
So we've got 80 because we got 200 from the vampire too.
You did. You got 200 from the drow, actually.
Yeah, he paid it.
The drow paid you, yes.
Damn, we make him back just talking.
What time is it?
You've got about half an hour. And you're 10 minutes away.
What are we going to do during brunch, since 3 of us weren't invited?
PM, what would be the easiest for you?
I can quite happily tell you that it's not going to matter.
We'll just invite ourselves. Let's go.
No,
Well,
it's definitely
actually-
only us that's invited.
Oh.
Okay,
Which
I
would-
can
which would
go
like to
and
be
then you
early.
guys can go talk to Killian.
Sure.
If you want to head to brunch, then all will be revealed as a bit simpler. Because at that moment, we are going to end, I'm afraid. I'm going to cut it short. I'm feeling quite sick. So we're going to leave it at brunch, and we are going to resume post-brunch, and information will be filled, because there is only a brief meeting being given. So, yes. And we shall resume next week. I apologise for this week's lower tone and less competent DM. I had my first COVID jab today, and oh my goodness, what have I just done? I've never done that before. Had my first COVID jab. Hey, look, I've got a duck on my face. Isn't that exciting? I had my first COVID jab this morning, and I'm completely not with it, and I'm really not giving the players the game they deserve. So I'm going to cut it off. I will feel better by tomorrow, I'm 100% sure. So you will find me at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow for Draftnor Keep. As for these guys, you will see them with member number 5, Rosalind Sachs, who has been investigating the smuggling coves in search of her previous boat. And we will resume at the same time next week, 3 p.m. EST. For those of you who are here, thank you very much. Which brings us to the MVP for the short session. I shall come first to Warren Strix or Argo.
It's got to be eating the hand, surely.
I liked eating the hand. Lusk?
Honestly, same. Or no, actually, maybe the wall. The whole thing with the wall.
Tyler?
One of those two.
I wanted to say the hand, but then I remember the wall, so definitely Strix and Tylon. Shenanigans with the wall.
And Defender?
The wall, for sure.
I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, I will give you guys a heads up, because I had to ask Tylon if during his investigation of the house originally he touched the wall, and perhaps
that's why I was like,
tiny
don't touch
bit
the
of
wall,
not
no?
necessarily metagaming, but like he can't not then touch the wall the next time he's there, right? And this, just seeing this play out was beautiful. I didn't ever expect you, the second person, to touch the wall after the first, so I enjoyed
to be
that.
honest, I assumed we were gonna touch the wall anyway, so I figured I might as well touch the wall.
But it was, a great pleasure. Guys, thank you so much for playing, and for being here, and for putting up with me in my miserable state. And we shall resume with a much more chirpy episode next week. Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Get well soon.